Hey guys, it's John from Oz Boot Camps. Today we're going to talk about looking at food, not just in its macro form, but also in the whole package that the food comes in. So we tend to look at protein, fat, and carbohydrates in a way that splits the food up into those macros, when we should be looking at food in its whole form. For instance, a lot of people measure their macronutrients like protein, carbohydrates, and fats when they're trying to lose weight. And this is good if you're trying to, look at your calories and things like that. But we also have to look at what's in the foods that the protein, fat, and carbohydrates come in. For instance, you could go down to McDonald's and get a Big Mac. And it contains protein, it contains carbohydrates, and it contains fat. But it also contains a lot of things that will harm your health, such as cholesterol, saturated fat, trans fat, and lots of sugar. So what we should be looking at when we look at food is the food in its whole form and what it contains. If you want to look at food in its whole form and to get the most benefit out of food, we should be looking at whole foods. For instance, if we look at potatoes, potatoes contain a good amount of protein, a good amount of starchy carbohydrates, and a small amount of fat. But it also contains a lot of vitamins and minerals that we need for health. So we should not only be looking at the macronutrients of food, we should be looking at the micronutrients of food, which we tend to overlook, especially when we're trying to lose weight. But what we need to be really doing is looking more at those things when we're trying to lose weight, because they're going to help us stay healthy and lose weight quicker. So whole plant foods contain, a lot of fiber, a lot of vitamins and minerals, and have a favorable macronutrient profile already. So you won't have to really look at the macronutrients. You just have to look at the type of food that you're eating. Whole plant foods also contain a good glycemic index. Even fruit has been shown to have a low glycemic index, even though it contains a lot of natural sugar. But the sugar in fruit is actually a good type of sugar, and it's also low in the glycemic index, so it's going to stop the insulin spike. You should stay away from refined foods. So as much as you can, stay away from the macronutrients that are refined. For instance, sugar. So we want to try and stay away from refined sugars. There's things like table sugar, even things like corn starch and high fructose corn syrup, and all that sort of food. So foods that are in packages, really. And we also want to stay away from refined oils, because that has also been shown to not be optimal for health. So things like, you don't want too much oil in your food, and you don't want to pan fry things in oil too much, and you certainly don't want deep fried food. You want to stay away from all that stuff. And if you eat foods in its whole form, then you're going to stay away from the refined macronutrients. Even refined protein, you don't want to have too much refined protein. It's still a refined food. It's still not found that way in nature. We want to try and stick to foods that are found in nature. So fruits, vegetables, whole plant foods are optimal for human health. So if we eat a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, legumes, whole grains, things that we can find in nature, that's going to optimize your health, optimize your body composition, and also optimize your hormone levels and everything, and it's going to make you feel really good. All right. So at the end of the day, we want to look at the whole package of food, not just the macronutrients. And we also want to be trying to get all of our foods from nature as much as possible. All right, I hope this has helped you sort of look into nutrition a bit differently. If you have any questions, let me know, comment below. And if you need any help with any nutrition stuff, any guidelines, I'm happy to help. See you later.